Once you log into Gaggle, you'll see by default your Home tab. You might have included a widget which will show you the inbox of your email account. This widget is going to show you the first few emails. It'll also allow you to perform some quick actions against those emails. So I can select multiple emails, and from here I can delete, report them as spam, mark them as read or unread. I can also double click an email to open it up in its own tab. From here I can reply or reply all to the email. In either case, it's going to copy the email and allow me to add my own content to it. And when I reply, it will send only to the original sender. If I choose to reply all, it will send the email not only to the original sender, but to all of the recipients. So it's important to understand the difference. You wouldn't want to accidentally do a reply all and include something private or personal. A third option is to forward the email, and what a forwarded email will allow you to do is to copy that email and then to send it on to somebody who wasn't in the original list. Once you have forwarded or indicated that you want to forward, you can also attach additional content. You could add an invitation if you wanted to have a meeting with a person, and so on. When I go back to the original email, I have the option to print it. I have the option to mark it as spam, to delete it, and then I might also want to translate. If that's the case, you can translate from English to several other languages. If I want to close out, I just simply close that tab. Another way that I can access my email is from the Inbox tab. In the Inbox tab, I will see all of my email that I haven't deleted. From here, if I select an email, it will show me a preview of that email down at the bottom. And if I press the function key F9, and there's a little shortcut here, it'll expand that preview. If I do F9 again, it'll collapse the preview for me. When I select an email, I can choose to print selected email, that email with its headers, which would be the information about when it was sent and so on, print all of my messages, or print all of my messages with the header. From here I can also click check email. That'll update and show me the latest email that I have, and I can compose a new email. To compose a new email, I of course need to include the address of the recipient. If I click to, this is going to show me my contacts, and we'll talk more about how you add contacts in later. I can also see any classes that I'm listed in, and then you'll also be able to view the upper school and every recipient in the upper school. I would just select a person that I'd like to send to and then click to. You can also do CC. That's a carbon copy. That's an old-fashioned term, but essentially it means that you want somebody to know what's going on, but they're not the primary recipient of the email. I also would fill in a subject field. It's good practice to always provide a relevant subject. That's something that you should get used to, not only for communications inside of Randolph, but also as you move on to college or you move into a professional field. Appropriate and succinct subjects are really critical. You can also set your font for your message, the size. You can make it bold. You could, if you wanted to, create a hyperlink. If you wanted to reference something external. You can also go in and change the colors. You can paste content, and you can set whatever the font is as your default. Just as a hint, you probably want to keep this simple. I don't think it's a good practice to get in the habit of changing a lot of color, a lot of background. You never know when somebody is going to be reading on a phone or from web-based mail, so they might not be able to see all of those added extras. You want to concentrate really on what your message is, not making it flowery. Up at the top, you have the option to attach additional content, and you can also grab stuff from your locker. So attach would be to grab something from your computer. So you would just browse to, say, your desktop and select a file and then just add it in. But you could also attach from your locker. You can add an invitation, and what this will let you do is to set a meeting with someone. So let's say I want to meet with my professor to discuss my paper. You could have a start time of 2:30 to 3:30, and then I could add in a description. And a location. And that'll add that to my calendar. So when I click save, you can see they'll be able to accept that, and if they accept it, it'll be added to their calendars as well. Now you can send external to locations like colleges. You can also, of course, send to any of the teachers at Randolph. You have quite a bit of flexibility here, quite a bit more than you did in the middle school. So those are all the options for creating an email. Once you're finished with it, you would click send. Now, once you've sent the email, it's still going to be visible as a sent email, and we'll take a look at those more extensive folders now. To view those folders, you're going to go over to your Mail tab, and this shows you all of the available folders. So there's my inbox again, but I also have a drafts folder. That's if you're working on an email and you're not ready to send it, you could save it as a draft. In this sent folder, this is where copies of emails that I have sent are going to be displayed. Now, I haven't sent any from this test account, but I would be able to see them here. Deleted emails. Now, you will not be able to empty out this folder. That's something that a teacher would need to do. So that's important to understand, that when you delete an email, it's not really gone for good. You can also have anything that you've marked as spam will show up in your spam folder, and anything that you starred for future reference will be listed here. And the way that you star something is it's just a little toggle button. You just click in that little star column. So that might be something that you use for organization later. In addition to these predefined folders, down at the bottom you can also create your own folder. So what you would do is right click on My Folders, and let's say that you want to organize your email by class. So what you can do is call it, say, English, and now when I go back to my inbox, I can pull email into that personalized folder. So that's just an organizational option. Once it's there, I can always open it up and reply to it or forward it just as I did before. Let's take a look quickly at your contacts. Some of these are predefined. When you go in just to the top of the contacts, this is where you can create your own. What you would do is click Add Contact, and you would fill this out. So let's say that I want to add Mr. Lisa's contact information. You can add a website, business address, and so on, but this is enough for right now. So when I click Add Contact, this will create a new one. But what I would do at the end of that is click Save. Of course, it's going to require a name, so we'll add Mr. Lease again. And now that I've created Mr. Lease's contact, I'll be able to send him email. Now these are manual contacts. You don't need to worry about creating contacts for every single student because those are going to be listed underneath directory. So from here you have access to every Randolph School upper school student. And as you can see, there are quite a few. You could also, if it's somebody that you know you're going to be interacting with often, you can click on that person and you can add it to your contacts list from here. So now when I go into contacts, I can see that Emma Baggett is now available for me. Another feature, and this might have been something that you played with in middle school, you can send friend requests to people in your contact list. So you can go into add to I Am Buddy list. What that will do is then allow you to very quickly pull them up in your chat window so you can chat with them in this buddy window. You are only going to be able to chat with members of your school. You can't chat with the middle school students, so that's important to understand. So in review, you have your home tab and you might have an inbox widget there. You'll also have by default a tab for your inbox, and that will show you all of your inbox email. And then finally, when you go over to mail, you'll see not only your inbox but all of the predefined folders. You can also create your own folder from here, and this is where you'll find your contacts.